Hello guys, welcome to my channel, The Wisdom of Intuition. In today's video, we're going to take a look at whether you are ready for a relationship or not. We have 4 piles today. Pile 1 is the healing card. Pile 2 is divine timing. Pile 3 is pride and ego. And pile 4 is regret. Take a few moments if you need to pick your pile. If you're drawn to more than one pile, then please check both or multiple of them as well. There may be a message in each pile for you. Hello, my pile 1. If you chose this card, healing, this is your reading. It's very interesting that you chose specifically this group and this card because you are doing something to heal your pain. You're doing something to release the past, to release all trauma from your previous relationships, whether they were romantic or they were related to your family or friends. Whatever it is, you are currently working on it and trying to improve your life significantly so you can heal completely to have a solid, healthy, beautiful relationship with yourself first and then with the other person as well, which is the best and, in my experience, the only proper way to really have healthy relationships in your life. If you are asking yourself, how much more healing do I have to do? There is never a point when you can say I'm 100% healed, and that's okay. You don't have to be 100% healed to have a beautiful, stable relationship. You have to deal with the biggest traumas, the biggest situations that left you feeling like you're not worthy, that you're not lovable. So when you remove the beliefs that are basically limiting you from loving yourself, you are opening up to the possibility of actually having a beautiful partner in your life. So whatever was left or whatever will be left unresolved within the process will probably be resolved through your future relationship with your partner. So don't stress about whether you've done enough or not. You're doing perfectly fine, and just keep doing it. Like I said, some things are not actually healed before you enter into that type of a relationship, but the relationship itself will help you to transform those things as well. And having a partner who recognizes the significance of healing your problems will definitely propel you even further in your healing process. So this is very good to start off with, pile 1. I think you have a pretty good shot of being ready for a proper relationship, but let's clarify a bit more. Okay, we have mysticism. What else? Are you ready for a relationship, pile 1? We have recovery, both of which are 6th chakra, the 3rd eye. And we'll take one more. We have despondence, again, 6th chakra. So basically what I'm seeing here, it's very important for you, pile 1, to really widen your sight, just widen your perception about what healing actually means. I feel that a lot of you have a tendency to really judge and criticize yourself because you're not yet at the stage that you were thinking that you will be getting at when you start doing the healing process. Healing your problems and issues and traumas can take a while. It's not easy and it's not fast. There are certain techniques that can help you do that faster than others, such as EFT, matrix reimprinting, which I do. And if anybody's interested, you can contact me so we can do a session. There are some things that you can do to speed up the process, but eventually it is a process, it is a path, and nothing can be actually done overnight, especially not healing your core wounds, your core beliefs. Okay, so even though it may be hard, it doesn't have to be necessary suffering, because in each and every process of healing, you get a lot of knowledge, a lot of experience about life, about yourself and others, which will be very useful in the future. So don't run away from the healing process because it takes a lot of time. It is necessary, okay? And I see this mysticism here as a perfect example of you trying all sorts of methods to get to a point when you can be completely healed. And I think that is perfect actually, because I'm definitely keen on holistic approach. So I see health as being split in 4 different levels: physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. So if a person is not healthy in all 4 levels, there will always be something that will keep the person out of balance. So, whether that is something you're doing or just maybe trying out different approaches, I think it will be a sure success for you, because you're really going after it from all different sides. And I think you have the best shot with this to actually make it to the end goal, and that is being healed and having a proper, loving relationship. We have recovery, which is actually what we've been talking about here. So, recovering from all the past hurts that you had and finding the key answer to healing. And again, I must tell you that people usually expect healing to happen overnight. And even though the technique matrix reimprinting does allow you to make like big changes in very short amount of time, it is never really true that a person can heal overnight. I have to say it may happen, but in very, very rare cases. So whether or not you are satisfied with the pace of your healing, maybe try to accept that if I had a whole life, like decades, of beliefs that are not serving me, of situations that hurt me, of people that abandoned me, betrayed me, maybe it's not so realistic to expect that I can just navigate all that in one day. And in the end, you will see that every situation you went through actually had a purpose for you. But that's a whole nother story. I'm not going to go into that. The main thing is to give your pain meaning. The moment that your pain gets its meaning, you use your pain to learn something from it and make something better. That is the end of suffering. Until you learn how to do that, you will still experience pain. I'm going to tell you a bit, maybe to clarify. So, I'm one of the lucky people that have had the privilege to have a twin flame, and that whole experience really pushed me over the edge in so many ways. And I can't even elaborate how much hurt I felt with that person and with that relationship. But it was never about that person, it was always about me and my traumas from my childhood. And just to say right now that I didn't have such a traumatic childhood, I really had a nice childhood. It doesn't have to be something really horrible so that you would get some beliefs that you're feeling unlovable, unworthy, and such similar beliefs. Okay, so it doesn't have to be like that, because a child has a very different consciousness than a grown-up does. So if a child sees their parents fighting, it's the end of the world for the child. Okay, they see everything black and white, and they make assumptions, conclusions that it's maybe their fault somehow, that the world is not safe, that nobody loves them, that they're all alone. That's what they conclude from that situation of them, their parents fighting. Okay, so it is very interesting when you get to pre-7 period, because when you look at it from current perspective, you think it's nothing, but from a child's point of view, it's everything. So the moment that you start digging through all the memories from your past, which matrix reimprinting actually does, and changing the thing that went wrong in that moment actually allows you to move forward with your life today. And whatever recovery that is still needed for you, it doesn't matter which technique you're going to use. Make sure you use the technique that feels good for you and that you see progress. It will get you to the point that you will be able to fully recover. And again, when I say fully recover, I don't mean 100%, because that is, in my opinion, actually never possible. You can do a lot, but there will always be something else, or something new will show up and you will have more work to do. But in that time when that happens, you will already have all the tools to deal with that in a proper way. So it won't be hurtful, it won't be painful, it won't be depressing. Okay, it will be different. And we have despondence. I'm definitely feeling that you could spend a bit more time in nature. Maybe surround yourself with people who like to go hiking, maybe walk in the woods, or something. I'm definitely feeling that you are very empathetic, and maybe you should just distract yourself from all the people that are around you, because I feel that you're like soaking in their energies and they are draining you. Maybe for the time being, it will be better for you to maybe go for a walk in the nature. Maybe just distance yourself for a while from some people who have been actually a felicitator of your current behaviors. So this sixth chakra for you here is definitely an invitation for you to see things more widely. Okay, just look at it from a broader prospect, and everything that's happening is stirring you into a certain direction, and it's molding you into a type of a person that maybe you were always supposed to become. Think about that, because everything we have been given as an experience shapes us into a specific type of a person. Maybe if you would look at it from that point of view, you will get a lot of clarity on why this is happening to you. Okay, let's clarify with the tarot. Are you ready for a relationship? Well, from this I'm getting that you probably are, but there will be a need for a bit more healing before that might manifest in a proper way. Okay, we have the King of Wands. What else? Are you ready for a proper relationship? Seven of Swords. And we have Two of Pentacles. And one more. We have Three of Swords. Yeah. So what the cards are implying here is that you should really focus completely on your healing. Make that your own personal priority. Just visualize yourself being healed, being completely in balance, and being able to have a proper healthy relationship, and then see what you feel about it. And maybe if you get an expired action, do what you feel you need to do to get to that goal. I see a lot of you felt that certain things you tried in the past were just a deception. They were not helpful, that you didn't get the results that people were promising you will get. But it doesn't have to be like that. You may have just ran into the wrong people, okay? Uh, In everything we do, whether it's spiritual or materialistic, there are people who are actually good. They're good at what they do, and they are pretty much realistic with their approach to other people. And then there are other people who will promise you everything and deliver nothing. And I feel like you've ran into especially those type of people who promised you a lot and delivered nothing. So you felt a bit disappointed, and you lost the faith that it's actually possible to heal yourself completely. But don't give up, and just keep trying. I see that you will get to your goal at the end. Just don't give up. Don't believe that everybody who does the thing that you tried is necessarily bad. And you may have just not found the right technique for you. Maybe you need something different. But definitely, like I said, try a holistic approach. Try many different things at once. You never know where will you get that jump forward. Okay, just keep trying. It will happen eventually. And we have the Two of Pentacles. You have to make your recovery a priority. Okay, it doesn't mean that you have a race with time. Okay, you do have time. Nothing will escape from you. Nothing will run its course. Okay, you have time for your recovery. Just make sure that you make it a priority so other things don't take away your focus from it. Wherever we put our energy into, that grows. So if you start putting your energy primarily into your recovery and healing, there will have to be a progress in it. Okay, and finally we get to the Three of Swords. Like I said, you are afflicted by the people around you. It may not be such a bad thing to distance yourself from for a while, to go hang out in nature, just to feel the energy of the forest, of the Mother Earth. It is very healing, grounding, and nurturing. And I think that is something that will definitely be of great assistance to you in your healing path. Okay, let's take a look at what might be needed for you to be able to have a great relationship. What might be still missing, and what can you do about it? We have rose quartz, softness and love. You would rather flee into somebody's protecting arms. Rose quartz warps you with love. Its intention is gentle but firm. It shows you how lovable you are. And again, what I got from the get-go is that probably most of you feel unlovable. And if you're into crystals, rose quartz can definitely help you do that. I actually do malas out of crystals. So I do have a few of them made out of rose quartz. And the mala is actually a bead necklace, which you use, my malas you use for re-imprinting on, maybe better said, reprogramming your subconscious beliefs. And you use the little marbles of quartz to actually count how many times you said the belief. So the new belief that you want to have instead of the old one. And if that is something that you're interested in, you can always contact me to buy the rose quartz mala so it can help you, or you can just do whatever else feels good to you. But the main thing here is you have to find gentleness that you always had reserved for everybody else instead of yourself. You were never as gentle to yourself as you are to other people. And my question is, why would everybody else deserve your gentleness and you can't give it to yourself? Why is that? when you start seeking that question, you will get a lot of answers. You will get a lot of memories of situations where you felt that you don't deserve love. So at some point, you stopped giving it to yourself. And that is definitely a point where you could start so that you complete that healing process in a proper way. Let's take one more to see what else. What else is needed? What else is needed so that pile 1 can have a beautiful, healthy, happy relationship? What do we need to know? We have the chicken. The chicken will give you the power for a fresh start. Beautiful. So it doesn't matter what happened in the past. You can always start anew. Always. If you decide to and you put your intention into it, things will line up for you. But first, deal with the feeling of unloving, of being unloved, that you're not lovable. When you take care of that, the fresh start will seem a bit more realistic and easier. And to all of you who picked pile 1, I can definitely relate to your reading because it was one of my issues in the past and it took me a while to get through that. But I just want you to know that it is possible. It is possible to get through all the problems, all the issues, all the traumas, whatever has happened. It will be definitely in the past for you at that point, as it is for me. And you will have a beautiful relationship with the partner that you always desired, as do I have now. But when you put in the work and you don't quit, okay, that's the important part. Don't quit, no matter how hard it is. Do not quit, because first it will get harder before it gets better. Remember that. My pile 1, this was your reading. I hope it helped, and I hope to see you in the next reading. Bye. Pile 2, welcome. If you chose the card of Divine Timing, this is your reading. Well, pile 2, what can I tell you about this? You are ready for a relationship, but there's this but again. But there are certain circumstances that still haven't fallen into place. And it is necessary for you to maybe remain single for a bit longer. And do not think of it as a curse. Think of it as things are lining up for me so that I can get the best possible version of a partner and a partnership that is meant for me. If you decide to look at this divine timing as a torture, then it will definitely be very, very hard for you to wait. But the point is that with the divine timing, it's never meant to make you wait. It was meant to push you into a direction that maybe you're currently hesitating to go. Because there is something for you there that will allow you to have that beautiful partnership, but you're deciding not to go into that direction. And until you decide that it's perfectly fine for you to be single a bit longer and just see what that brings to your life, until you actually do that, this divine timing will keep going on and going on. So divine timing is not a specific time in history. Divine timing can be now, it could be within an hour, it could be within a month, or it can be within 50 years. Who decides when divine timing will actually happen for you, when that situation will manifest for you? You are the one who decides with your vibration, because divine timing is giving you this buffering time, buffering space for you to maybe align something differently that you're currently not seeing, and that thing is maybe not in alignment with what you want. But sometimes it may be It may have to do with the other person as well. Maybe they are still not at a place where they should be, so that you can be able to manifest that type of a relationship. But since everything is bilateral, then definitely you have a vibration that keeps that in misalignment with you. So don't think of divine timing as waiting, because the vibration of waiting is lack. Take it as a time for yourself to discover something amazing that may have not been experienced if you had this what you wanted, that relationship you wanted in this very moment. I hope I was clear enough on divine timing, because like I said, divine timing can be very flexible. It's very subjective, okay? So the sooner you realize that it doesn't matter when the divine timing will actually occur, or better said, when the relationship will actually occur. Divine timing is allowing you space and time to experience something else before that relationship comes into your life, because it will be necessary for some reason. Okay, let's clarify that a bit. Are you ready for a relationship, pile 2? What do we need to know here? We have faith, the 6th chakra, third eye. What else? Are you ready for a relationship? Workaholic, the 5th chakra, throat. And we'll take one more. Soulmate, 1st chakra, beautiful. So like I said, pile 2, you are ready. But the fact that that's still not in your life requires of you to have faith that there's something bigger going on behind the scenes that you're maybe not meant to see at this moment, and it will probably give you something much more magnificent than you would have ever imagined. And many make this mistake. They feel desperate because it didn't happen already, because they're doing all the work, they're doing everything right, but the result is still not here. And that is because there's something even better being prepared for you, okay? But you are not yet able to see it. And you are the one who decides whether this divine timing will last a month or a year or 10 years with your vibration regarding to this situation. So if you choose to look at it the way I suggested, that's just one point of view. You can choose whatever you want. But if you decide to look at it as, I have time and space to maybe experience something else before I get into that relationship, which will definitely give me something beautiful in my life, instead of being desperate why this relationship is not here yet, you will keep the faith of your relationship being manifested and given to you at the right time. But it may not be the right time at this moment, but that's not something that you should be depressed or sad or angry about, okay? There's something beautiful that wants to come through to you currently at this moment, and that relationship will come in the future, maybe very soon for most of you. But keep the faith, no matter how it looks like at the moment. It will come. It will. But you have to believe in it. So we have the workaholic, which is 5th chakra. I think you are overdoing things. If you're listening to certain affirmations or manifesting videos, I think you're maybe overdoing it to the point that you're becoming frustrated. And I have to tell you, I know how you feel, because relationships they were a big part of my journey, and manifesting my partner was very hard at the beginning, because I had a lot of issues that I didn't work through, and everything I tried to manifest was not entirely what I wanted in a partner. It always ended up being something different with which I was not actually satisfied. And after clearing the issues that I had with firstly my father, then my grandmother, then my mother, and then previous partners, it became very obvious to me that I deserve love, that I deserve to have a partner. I'm not born in this life to be miserable. I have a right to have a happy, loving, healthy relationship just by existing. And when you get to that point, I feel shivers all over my body when I'm saying this. When you get to that point, your vibration changes completely. And on my creation channel, I did a video. My ideal partner for me is manifesting me. And that's actually the video that I used to manifest my current partner now. Because at that point, I was already so sure of that I've done enough healing that I could be able to attract a healthy, loving, respectful partner in my life. And that is something that I'm living today. Okay. So maybe you're overdoing it to the point of feeling frustration. It will be maybe a bit smarter to deal with why this frustration is here in the first place. What does this situation remind you of? And it will always lead you to something from the past. And I do a technique that is perfect for that type of work. So it's called matrix reimprinting, and you basically visit old memories from your past and see where the problem started in the first place, and then you resolve it at that point. And from that on, you are free from all the beliefs, all the feelings that keep you stuck regarding that situation, regarding relationships. So maybe you should quit for a while just to give yourself some peace, because I feel a bit of a frustration coming out of you because of overdoing it, overdoing the manifestations without actually seeing the results. And at the end, we have soulmate card, which is a perfect confirmation that there is a soulmate coming towards you. But you see how they're looking in different directions. So they're still not completely on the same page. And that's what I was telling you about with this divine timing. There is still something that needs to fall into place for you to have this. And it is not a punishment. It is a buffer for you to really come into balance with everything that you want, to really clarify what it is that you want exactly. I actually made a list of like over 70 qualities which I wanted in my partner, and my current partner has them all and even more, okay? But when I was doing that, I didn't do it from a place of frustration. I was doing it from a place of knowing that I deserve to have that, and that the universe would take care of everything in divine timing. So in the perfect timing for me and for that person, so that we can align and have that beautiful relationship. And I was very set on not going into any relationship that will feel that is out of this like standards that I put for myself and for the other person to have. And before you actually get that person you want, you will probably get somebody who will be very similar to the soulmate you're looking for, but they will have something that is a big no-no for you. So they will probably break some of your standard, and that will be the test that the universe will have for you, whether you're willing to say no to that person because it's not exactly the person that you wanted, or if you will accept it. If you accept it, you're going in circles, you're doing it again. You didn't actually do anything to improve your possibility of having a great relationship. So you will get a test. That's what I got. And that's what a lot of people who work with me get. So they get a person who is very similar to their ideal soulmate for them, but they lack something. And if they pass that test, if they say, that's beautiful, but it's not exactly what I'm looking for, it basically happens within a few days they meet the person that is actually perfect for them. Whatever happens, whether you choose that person who doesn't have everything or not, you will get another chance, of course. Okay, it's not that you will lose your chance forever, but it will probably be easier for you to know this in advance when you're making your choice. Okay, let's see what tarot has to say. Let's clarify this a bit. Are you ready for a relationship? Well, Mr. Pile 2, I think you are, but like I said, some things need to fall in place first. Let's see. We have Knight of Wands. Yeah, you're very, very impatient. And that's the problem. Seven of Swords. What else? The Lovers. Beautiful. And we have Eight of Cups. Good. So let's start with the Knight of Wands. So, like I said, I feel a lot of impatient energy coming out of pile 2 because you've worked on this, you gave your all, you were wanting this so badly, and it actually backfires. And like I said, there is always a reason that divine timing comes out. It's not time yet. And I know that you feel frustrated even hearing my words because I've been there. I've done that. I know how you feel, pile 2. I so know how you feel. And there was like a period of time where I was so frustrated that I was doing everything perfectly right and there were no results. And the reason for that is because I was so focused on having the result that I forgot to enjoy the moments that I was doing the techniques, that I was doing the affirmations. So I forgot to enjoy the feeling that I was getting while I would visualize, while I would do the affirmations, okay? And the thing that I did to help myself get out of the frustration phase was I found a song that actually felt like that person was already here, like that person was all about me. And I used two songs. One is Croatian song. I bet most of you won't know it. It talks about finally finding a partner who is a perfect fit, and how we went through a lot of different situations that seemed like they're totally wrong, but at the end it just led us to cross our paths somehow. And now that we have this love, we're not gonna give it away. And the other song was, I bet that most of you will be familiar with the song, was Leave the Door Open by Silk Sonic. Because when I would sing it, I would think about that my partner wants me so badly, that he is manifesting me. And at the end, I made a video of affirmations. My ideal partner for me is manifesting me. So I put the load of manifestation from me and put it on somebody else. So instead of thinking I have to manifest a partner and feeling desperate because it's not happening, I switched the roles and I said, my ideal partner for me is manifesting me. He wants me. I'm everything he wants. I might do an English version for you as well on this channel so you can have a taste and a feel how that video actually is perfect for that. And people from Croatia and Balkans who have tried the video, they said they get amazing results. So I probably will make it in English version as well. So maybe just as an advice, instead of you trying so hard to manifest your person, just think of it, he's manifesting me. He's doing everything to manifest me. He's trying to find a way to get into my life. He's trying to find a way how to call me, how to ask me out, how to be with me. He's thinking of being with me his whole life. He wants to find a way to be with me. He's manifesting me. Just switch it around instead of having all the burden of manifestation on yourself, and it will definitely help with the impatient energy that you're having. Then we're gonna go to Seven of Swords, and this was definitely the biggest thing for me that helped me move forward, because when you know that you've done everything but the result still isn't here, you have to know that that is an illusion. That is definitely a deception, because it probably already is here, but I can't see it for some reason. Because if I've done all the necessary steps, it can't not manifest. Okay? And when I started thinking about it in that terms, I basically figured it out that I have to have faith that it's already done, that it will be shown to me in the right time. Maybe for some reason the time is not now, it might be in a week. Okay? So keep your faith. It doesn't matter what your eyes see. What matters is what you see with your third eye, your inner eye. Okay? That's where it all starts. Everything that is manifested in the physical, it first started with faith in the third eye. Every invention that anybody ever made first came to them as an idea in their mind. And then through inspired action and consistent focus, they were able to manifest that in the physical. So remember that when you're losing your faith, the most important thing is to keep it, to keep seeing you within your inner eye, and to focus your energy on the feeling of having that already. And then we're going to go to the Lovers, my twin flame card. I definitely feel that you're here like you have a choice. You have a choice to keep stressing because things are not working as you wanted it to, as you planned they will. But you have a choice whether to keep going it the same way that you were doing it, or you can just change something around. Don't be afraid to change things, because if something doesn't feel good anymore, it's time to change it. The key ingredient in manifesting is feeling good. So if you're doing something and it doesn't feel good anymore, do something else. It will not sabotage the process of manifesting. It will do actually the opposite. It will help it speed up. So whatever you're doing, if it frustrates you, start doing something else. And again, we have Eight of Cups, so evolving. That's what I see from this card. And Eight of Cups as in walk away from anything that is not adapt to the standard you put for yourself. So whatever falls short of what you want, say no to that. Walk away. It doesn't matter if it seems good. It doesn't matter if in that moment you think, maybe I should take this, I'm not sure if I'm going to get another chance. Still say no. Because if you're wondering, then the answer is no. Because if you get your ideal soulmate for you, you will never have to wonder. You will know that it is right. If there is even one thing in the person that feels off to you, and it's not something that is like not so important, like, I don't know, hair color, that is really something that you shouldn't say no to, because hair color, it's really not that a big deal. But if anything else that is very important to you feels off with the person, just say no. Just say no, and then let the universe bring you what you actually and truly desire, and it will happen. Let's see what's missing for you to be able to have that relationship. What can you do about it? Let's take some advice for pile 2. Dolomite, grounding and endurance. Do you get lost every now and then? Dolomite helps you to be authentic. The stone provides a basic sense of trust, stability, and endurance. Your actions become playful. Exactly. I see this as authenticity in terms of if the person that shows up is not completely the person that you decided you wanted by your side, just say no. Be authentic, be true to yourself, and admit to yourself and to the person, this is not actually what I wanted. You are great in so many ways, but there's still something missing. And when you do that, you will definitely end up having the person you always wanted. I guarantee you that. That has happened to me and so many other people. So if you doubt it, give it a try. I'm betting that you'll get a person that is almost what you want, but when you say no, the right one will appear. Let's see what else. Okay, 2 want to come out. We'll take the 2. The badger will advise you to fight back. And we have the peacock, but it came out in reverse. The peacock will give you poise and pride. So definitely what I'm getting here is that you should stand up for what you believe. You should keep your boundaries and standards high. It's not time to compromise on anything. If you want to end up with the right person, you shouldn't compromise on things. And the peacock that came out in reverse, your ego might be telling you there will not be anybody else if you say no to that person. But that is actually the time that is most needed for you to say no, because it's a test. It's a test from your old belief that there is nobody for you, that you are unlovable, and that you have to settle for what is offered at that moment. But in that particular time, you have a choice. Make it a conscious choice. Make it a choice that will bring you something better, that you will not settle for less. And when you decide to do that, you will be rewarded in so many different ways. Pile 2, I hope this resonated. I hope this gave you some clear guidance for your future events, and I hope to see you in the next reading. Bye. Hello, Pile 3. Welcome to your reading. If you chose this pride and ego, I have to tell you that your readiness for your relationship of your dreams is still not here. What do I mean by that? I think you still hold on to some grudges from the past, and I think that you've set a pretty high standard, which usually I have nothing against. I encourage it, but you set a pretty high standard that is probably unrealistic in terms of, I don't know, maybe a person has to have a certain hair color, they have to have a certain amount of money they make every month, they have to have a certain type of car, a certain type of house, which in itself is not such a bad thing to do when you try to manifest somebody. But I feel that it's not actually productive or working for you. It's actually making it worse. So you're very stuck on some material aspects of the person, which in the end, they are not that important. The most important thing is how you feel with that person. What are his or her qualities? And what type of a person they are becoming through your relationship. So I would definitely advise you here that instead of being so overly focused on the physical, maybe try to put more focus on the mental and emotional aspect. I'm not saying it's not possible to have a partner that has all these materialistic qualities as well. It is. But I think you are overly focused on it and totally neglecting the emotional and mental part, which will be definitely the most important thing when you get that person and end up being in a relationship. So that's some food for thought for pile 3. I have a problem with 3 today. I don't know why. Excuse me, but it's probably not the best day to be doing the reading. But I wanted to give you this topic because I think it will be very beneficial for a lot of you out there. So let's clarify this. Let's see. Are you ready for a relationship, Barth? Again, pile 3. I don't know what's wrong today, but bear with me. Service. We have service. It's second chakra. What else? Soulmate. Beautiful card. Pile 2 also had it. And we'll take one more. Rejection. Okay, so this is an interesting pile. I have to tell you. Again, I'm feeling that this pride and ego, I have to go back to the card because I get a few more informations from it now. So I feel that you are pretty insecure about yourself in certain areas of your life, maybe financially or career-wise or whichever resonates. And you feel that your partner will complete you in that areas if they already have the things you want. And again, I'm not saying it is a bad thing and that it's something that you shouldn't want. Of course, if that person has money, good. Then you don't have to work so much for making a living. So that's not something that is bad in itself. But when you are overly focused, you miss out on a lot of good people that would have been a perfect match for you. But maybe at this point in time, they don't have that amount of money. So you see where I'm going with this? You're missing out. And these 3 cards are actually telling me that because you don't see the value of an emotional and mental compatibility as much as you do in physical and materialistic compatibility. So instead of just thinking on in terms of I want that person to have that type of a car, you can maybe think in terms of I would like him to drive a BMW, for example, but if he doesn't, I'm perfectly fine with it because he will be somebody who will definitely have high high respect for me to maybe pick me up and drive me somewhere that I need to go. So maybe think of it rather as in how this person serves you, but not in a way that you're exploiting the person, but rather how you want to spend your time together. For example, my partner drives me to work every day, and it's a beautiful time that we spend together. Instead, I would be going to work on my own. He would be going on his work on his own, and we would spend like an hour not being together and doing I don't know what. And that is a perfect way to actually spend some more time together. And we always listen to jazz or talk about some psychological stuff which we're interested in. And he definitely doesn't feel like he needs to drive me, but he loves to. And I love the fact that he can drive me every morning. So maybe think of it in terms of that. This is just an example. You can make your own. And we have the soulmate, which tells me that your soulmate is already in your surroundings, but you are unable to see your soulmate because you are definitely looking at wrong things. And the person that's perfect for you is right under your nose. And a fun fact is, my partner was the same. So I'm definitely relating with you, Pile 3, don't get me wrong. But I was also looking at the wrong things. And he was there in my surroundings for 2 or 3 years and I couldn't see it. And then after I did the work, after I really worked on myself, after I really got clear on what I actually wanted in a partner, what is really needed for me to be happy within a relationship, I was able to see the beauty of my partner. Until I did that, he was just another guy that wanted to be with me, and I was just like, I didn't care. Okay? So you are already being given, you are being given this perfect partner, but you're not still seeing clearly. And that's why this rejection comes in, because I'm betting that you are going after certain partners that are not a good fit for you, that keep rejecting you, leaving you, hurting you. But that is also okay. That's what happened with me as well. But with each and every partner that hurt me, I was more clear on what I wanted and what I didn't want in a partner, which eventually led me to see where my soulmate is. It is a painful process, though, I have to warn you, but it's definitely the process that will get you to the point where you will know exactly who you want as a partner. And just as an advice, maybe you can skip the part of so many rejections from other partner and just work on yourself. So that's a big hint if you're willing to take it. Let's see what Tarot has to say about this. Is pile 3 ready for a relationship? Are they ready for a relationship? We have the Empress. My Empresses and Emperors in pile 3. I see you see yourself in high regard, which is actually perfect, okay? Let me pull the cards and then I'll explain. We have Judgment. What else? We have Ace of Swords. Yeah. And we have the Star. Exactly. So everything, the way I explained it, is now being confirmed to you. So back to the Empress. It doesn't matter whether you're a male or a female. You think of yourself in high regard, and that is absolutely perfect. There is nothing wrong with that. But with that in mind, you have to be very careful not to overlook certain people just because to you it seems like they are not at your level. Again, speaking from personal experience, I did that with my current partner, and I was pretty much shocked when I actually gotten to know him, and I found that he was so much better than I ever thought he would be. He was so much more masculine, so much more decisive, strong, willing than I ever perceived him to be. So it was just my perception, which was terribly wrong. Wrong judgment completely. So I feel that it's kind of happening to you as well. You have a certain type of a person that you attribute certain qualities to, and you think that that type of a person is the only person that will suit you. But again, it is just your perception. If it were true, you wouldn't have so many rejections in your life. It will work out, but it's not working, which will lead you to believe eventually that maybe you have something wrong, that you haven't figured things out completely. And then you will be called to address what is inside of you. Again, like I said, focus more on how you want to feel with the person rather than how the person actually looks like, what are their material possessions. And I can't stress this enough, there's nothing wrong with having a certain expectation of this physical attributes and financial status as well. But don't make it a deal breaker, okay? Because you will definitely miss out on so many beautiful people. You won't see them clearly, and they're already somewhere around you, waiting for you to see them as they are. Because your perception, your way of looking at things and at those people is twisted. It's not objective, okay? It will never be, I have to say, it will never be objective. It will always be subjective, but it's tainted with your previous experiences and you don't see things clearly. When you get the clarity that you're lacking, you will definitely be able to see your soulmate. And they will probably be somebody that you already know, for most of you. And we have the Star. So healing is necessary, pile 3. Healing all the previous rejections. And I'm not just talking about previous partners. I'm also talking in terms of relationship with your parents, with your friends, okay? Maybe daddy issues, mom issues, and there are a lot of those. Even if you had a beautiful and happy childhood, you will still have some issues regarding your childhood and your parents. So maybe look into that. I do a technique called matrix reimprinting, which is perfect for that. So if anybody's interested, you can always contact me. We can try it out to see what happens, okay? Let's take a look at what can you do about this. How can you be ready for a relationship? Let's see some advice for you, pile 3. We have heliotrope. Differentiation, protection. You need protection. Heliotrope fends off spiritual and emotional assaults. It helps you to set clear boundaries if needed. And like I was saying, you keep choosing the wrong people and get rejected because you can't set clear boundaries, because I have to say this, but you're basically hungry for love. You're hungry for attention, and that always stems from somewhere within your childhood. And that is why you can't see clearly who is the right fit for you, because you're always attracting people that will give you the same type of experiences, because your subconscious mind wants to resolve the trauma that started somewhere in the past, to be able to move past it. But you're just simply recreating the same thing over and over again, just with different people. Okay? Same story, different people. Sounds familiar? If it does, then you have something to work on. And again, I'm going to mention matrix reimprinting because it's a perfect technique to resolve any type of issue, especially that type of issue. And once you learn how to put your boundaries up, how to protect yourself, because you're cutting everybody slack, you're giving them way too much freedom to do with you whatever they want because you want love. And you're missing out on people who would actually give you everything you want. But you can't see them because you're focused on the wrong things. Let's take one more. What else we need to know? What else we need to know? We have the chimpanzees will help you to contemplate and to contrive well. I will take it as it flew out in the reverse. So I'm definitely thinking that you are somebody who thinks that is doing the right thing, that you're choosing the right people, that you stick to the ways that you were going about up till now. But let's look at the end result. Where has it gotten you to? Are you happy? Probably not. Do you have a healthy partner? Probably not. Have you had previous partners who were really good for you in terms of respectful, loving, caring? Maybe, but you probably got bored with them. If all of these things sound familiar, then you have some things to resolve. Okay, you have some issues, and don't worry about it. It is solvable pretty easily. Okay, I'm not saying it will happen overnight. It won't be maybe very pleasant while you're doing it, but it will definitely bring you the result you want. It will definitely bring you a soulmate in the end. And having that in mind, the work will be worth it. Only you have to decide to do it. My pile 3, I hope this resonated. I hope it helped. I hope it gave some clear guidance for you ahead going with this relationship thing. And I hope to see you in the next reading. Bye. Pile 4, welcome. If you chose this regret card, this is your reading. So, are you ready for a relationship, pile 4? I have to say no, because you're still carrying a lot of regret from a previous relationship or relationships, which makes it impossible for you to attract a perfect partner for you, somebody that you will be capable of devoting yourself to. And with having this regret, I have to stress that it's nothing to be ashamed of or to think that it is wrong to hold this regret, but think of how is it serving you? Do you get anything out of it? Do you want to get back with that person? What it is that you want here? Or are you regretting the fact that you had somebody and you have nobody now? Okay, you have to get very clear on what you're actually regretting. Do you regret your person not being here? Or you regret not having a relationship? Because these two things are quite different. And both things can be worked on, but first you have to distinguish between the two. What is it that you're actually feeling? Because if you're not missing the person, then you shouldn't feel regret at all. You should just focus on having a beautiful relationship with somebody else. If you are missing a person, then you should think in terms of, do I actually like who this person is? Do I actually like how this person treated me? Do I actually like where our relationship was going? And when you get your answers to that question, you may conclude that you actually don't want that person back at all. Some of you might, but I'm betting that most of you actually wouldn't want to take that person back. Take that into consideration and maybe just work around those questions a bit just to make sure where you're at with this regret. Let's clarify to see whether you're ready for a relationship or not. What do we need to know here? What do we need to know? We have abundance, such a beautiful card. It's third chakra. Let's see what else. We have expansion, beautiful. This is the fifth chakra, throat. And we'll take one more. We have mysticism, which is sixth chakra, third eye. So what I'm getting here is that a lot of you in Pile 4 think you missed the person, but you're actually not missing them. You're missing the way you felt when you were with the person. And I would say that in 99.9% relationships are definitely a byproduct of how both people put into the relationship. So whatever you felt with that person is something that you can actually get with another person as well. It doesn't have to be a specific person that you were with. You can get the feeling with somebody else as well. I don't know if you're aware of it, but we're always craving for the feeling, not for the person itself. And once you make that distinction, you will go from, I'm so sad, I will never find anybody like him or like her, I will never be able to be happy with anybody else, to, I have so many people that will be perfect for me as a partner. I have so many choices. I have so many people that are a perfect fit for me, and I can choose whichever I feel is good for me. Okay, you get into the state of abundance instead of state of lack. Once you realize that it's not the person you're after, but the feeling you have when you're with that person, things start to change drastically for you, Pile 4. You have to expand your vision. You have to expand your perception of the situation. So instead of thinking, like I said earlier, I'm never going to find anybody else like him, I think that's actually a good thing because you can find someone better. So you will be the one that chooses whether you will start to believe the first sentence, I'm never going to find somebody better, or the second one, there's somebody better out there for me and I'm looking forward to meet them. That is your choice, whether you will see it as lack or as abundance and opportunity. And we have this mysticism. I think that you are very concerned of because you think you can get your person back, and I think you've already tried some shady things to get them, maybe some type of magic, or maybe you try to influence them in some sort, but you don't have to do that. Love is not something that should be controlled and manipulated. That's not what love is. That is definitely manipulation. That is acting out of powerlessness, of not having what you want, not being able to get it, and then have to use force to get it. Okay? I hope you understood that and heard that correctly. Do not use anything that goes against somebody's free will, because it will definitely backfire. Wouldn't you rather want a person willingly want to be with you rather than forcing somebody to be with you? Which feels better to you? Think of it like that. How about if you were in this situation, if you didn't want to be with somebody and somebody would manipulate you into being with them? How would you feel? If this doesn't resonate for some of you in Pile 4, just leave it. But I feel that a lot of you have tried maybe even spells or I don't know what else, potions. But if you don't feel like you can get a person to willingly love you, is it love really? Ask yourself that. Let's see what else. Let's clarify with the tarot. We have King of Cups. What else? We have the Empress, which is actually abundance. I can't stress enough how these cards always fit perfectly and how they always give such perfect answers. We have Justice. Good. And we have the last one, Five of Wands. Yeah. So your main problem is probably jealousy. Or if it's not jealousy, you're feeling that you're not good enough so that somebody will choose you over somebody else. And I have to say it, but you're acting like a big baby here. You lost your toy and you want your toy back, and you're not going to stop crying until you get your toy back. I have to be honest like this. Don't take me wrong. I don't have anything disrespectful or mean in mind, or I don't want to hurt you by saying this, but let's keep it real, okay? You're a big baby about this. Yes, you don't have your person. Yes, it's painful. Yes, you probably love them. Okay, but what if this person isn't actually a perfect fit for you? What if you can get somebody else who will be much better and it will be more suitable partner for you? Wouldn't you like to have that? And I see this abundance that wants to come in for you. Such beautiful abundance. And you're not letting it in because you're overly focused on your person. And by doing so, you're basically selling yourself short. If this person was right for you, they will probably be here still. Or if this person is right for you, they will come back to you at some point. But not if you're going to stay in this regret. Go out, go live your best life, and then see what life has to bring you. And it's this abundance that's coming through very strongly here. Your life wants to give you a big expansion in your consciousness, in your experiences. But you have to decide to contribute to that. You can't stay small. You can't stay in this regret. You have to open yourself up to some beautiful things that life wants to offer you. But life won't be able to give you that unless you're willing to accept it. Then we go back to the mysticism. And again, the more you try to force this person to come back, the more it will backfire. For some of you, you'll eventually even get the person back. But I can bet that that relationship will not work. You will not be happy because the foundations of that relationship are not love, respect, and caring. It's manipulation, it's lies, it's deceit. And nothing good comes out of that. Please, Pal 4, be aware of that. I know you are probably suffering because you lost your person who you loved very much, but being manipulative is not the answer. It will not fix anything, it will just make it worse. Let's see some advice for you, Pal 4. How can you be more ready for a relationship? What can you do about this thing? We have diamonds, spiritual freedom and light. That's the whole thing, what I was talking about. So now it's time to think big. The diamond removes obstacles and gives you a feeling of I'm finally where I want to be and farsightedness. So basically, you're not farsighted here. You put your hands over your eyes and you don't want to see anything else except your person, and you're really keeping yourself small. And the spiritual freedom that's here on the card has to do with this manipulation. If you're playing with somebody's free will, expect to get something as a price as well. It's not something you should be playing with, because free will is something we all have been given as human beings. It's a right given to us by God. And if you decide to tamper with that, to really do something to manipulate the other person, you're playing with forces that are not actually oriented towards having a beautiful, loving, full of light world. And I don't want to scare you with that. It doesn't have to be so dark and so sinister, but still, you will end up being miserable. I can guarantee you that. Nothing good ever came out of manipulation. No happiness ever came out of deceit. Never. And it never will. Let's see one more. What do we have to know here for pile 4? We have the lizard. The lizard will accompany you in your dreams. So if for the first time in a long time you are single and you're feeling overwhelmed because this person is not here, try to focus on what you actually want for yourself in life. Focus on your dreams. Focus on the perfect partnership you would want to have in this lifetime. And you will not feel so alone as long as you put your energy into feeling the way that you would feel if you were in that type of a relationship. Basically, use the law of attraction to feel that relationship as if it's already here and allow it to manifest pretty easily in your life. So instead of being so overly focused on your person, try shifting your focus to the dream relationship you want to live. Just put your person out of the equation and start imagining what a perfect relationship would feel like and look like. My pile 4, I hope this resonated, I hope this helped, and I hope to see you in the next reading. Bye!